My name is Jonathan Parks, and welcome to Jonathan's Nature Crafts. I must inform you that I do not live in this house by myself, but live here with other people. Sometimes other members of the household may have to walk through areas where I might be recording with other family members on the phone. If you hear any noise like that, please feel free to disregard. We are doing our best to get noise canceling equipment, which may at least keep you from hearing exactly what is being said. Thank you for considering. Well, I do want to come on here just to say that it's just kind of like how the little thing goes about these little Mary statues, and I'd probably also just say that this is just a time when we're going to come along and take care of a similar little step on these Joseph ones as well, and kind of draw little lines across the top like we did with the Mary ones, and this time probably kind of do it down these little sides as well and put them into the right little places for a little bit of work to be, and so make the lines just right. And I say that sometimes a little video work can kind of have a way to draw a little attention to a bit of a carving as it comes right into the place, and just to show how much courage we have with all and what we do. I say kind of make it so little lines are going to be in the places they go. And I tell y'all that we're going to turn this little thing down here and kind of make a little work go the same very way as all the things we had before and did in the last video when we sort of made Mary out a little bit, and do believe could be coming to a point where the knife might be needing a little sharpening again. And come to the other side, we'll kind of do it again here. And I say with the sharpness of the knife, just make a little way to sort of come along here. To all things I say that this is just the kind of work that it all turns out to be. We get a little more of the ways done here and kind of come along with the best project that we can. I say with a little work and help, we can get this a longer way, but I tell y'all that this is just kind of something where it's almost like a little digging for gold here. And all things I say, all things, you know, all the things they kind of do, I tell y'all that it's just how little gold refines in a little fire just to make something out of what we have, what we see, what we do. I tell y'all that just a little light in this world, light in this darkness. I say that it's just one of the things where we learn how to carve bigger pieces. Little do we know what we could think of next. One of these days, I could be coming up with perhaps ways to carve the Statue of Liberty, maybe. That would kind of be probably some more work, but I will tell you all, I have tried to carve Mount Rushmore before. That was a little bit difficult to do, but still nonetheless say I managed it well. Kind of say it's almost like I'm getting back to all my old carving habits again, and back to all my old ways of doing things, but I say there's probably going to come a time, maybe tomorrow, maybe one day this week, I'm going to try to get a lot of stuff moved out of the way and just perhaps be able to sweep up and vacuum up more little wooden chips out of this area. And sometimes I think it could get a little worse if we had to work our way through it any much more than we do. Sometimes, just sometimes, you feel like you get a little bit retired in ways because, you know, it's good to have such a schedule as we have sometimes, and I say for mine, it's going to be back to doing the cafeteria work in, I'd say, maybe a little over a month, because we know we kind of got to keep up with all that's on the calendar and all we're going to have to do. So I've got my calendar together for all the ways that work shall go in the coming year, and make a little investment out of all we can make to see just what we're coming to. Got around to doing this on the Joseph pieces. You can see where I've gotten a little triangle cut off the center. About to come around, take care of a little place down here. I'd say it almost kind of looks like, with the video kind of turned down this way, it almost looks like I'm the headless horseman. It almost looks like I don't have a head. Think about it like that, you know. Ichabod Crane and the Headless Horseman. And it's always kind of like how when we were kids, you know, it's almost like we were in a warehouse drugstore and we saw this little bottle of G.I. Joe shampoo. And on the little bottle of G.I. Joe shampoo, there was, I'd say, this thing where the screw-on lid of the shampoo bottle was G.I. Joe's head. And, you know, and it's like, just so happened that since the top of the bottle wasn't screwed on, it looked like G.I. Joe without a head. And my brother said, there's G.I. Joe with no head. And then my sister went like, G.I. no head. So, little parodies on tunes in our days. Little parodies on what we said and sung. I tell y'all all the things I just recall and remember from very old-fashioned times in my life, I say. It's just kind of the way good old memories just kind of work in us. See a little fashion and ways we kind of make our work have its own agenda to us. And of all little works, I say, kind of put a good little amount of grace and character into what we make, what we have, what we do. It kind of seems like it's getting a little complicated just to kind of carve all this away, but I mean, I tell y'all, sometimes, like we say, I just don't like the mess it makes, but I've gone to a website called mywishlist.com and finally did put a wood carving apron on there and sent it to my mother in an email today. So that's going to be one little way we're going to have things work out for the best in us. And for one thing, I tell y'all, there's little gnomes of figures that make our ways. Would also like to mention, as far as this little piece comes out, there's going to be a rustic feel and a rustic look for what a piece comes out to be, what it comes out with. And I say that I've got such strong hands, strong arms, and I can just work a little power out of one little bit of a carving that I need and make the thing so it's going to kind of have its own little work about us. And well, I say little fancy chubby work in our lives, removing all this chipping and scrapping and I say carving and doing things away. Oh, it's just kind of like little time in our lives when we got the little Mount Everest of wood carving in our lives, and just the time when things come this way. I say we got little works coming ahead. Remove the things we don't need from the base of the wood. This was probably the Joseph figure we got started on the last time in the video where we were just working on the Mary ones, but I say that we're scrapping away, chipping away, scraping and shaving wood away, so we are just a giant score on the battlefield. Can we all get to where we see just what a game we play. And I come by to tell y'all that some little work is making a good little way on us. There's a lot of that old modern day stuff people do online these days, and I don't get all that familiar with it these days. It kind of gets a little crazy sometimes, and you know, there's just a lot of it I don't really learn how to do, don't really fool with it, and all the ways people just make all these reels where they just show what they're doing and make it real fast and put all this mainstream music into the background that we see, and all the crazy little awkward ways that little things can get to us. Oh, just working about the trash that makes a business go crazy, I say. This is just among those things where we will put our effort into a piece, all for what we do, I say, and make it so it's going to be a good little treasure to live on for the future of our lives. I say that we all know that life is troubles, comes our ways. I say that there's going to come a time when we're going to get around these knives. They may get old after a while. We may not be able to use them as much, but they're going to have special little fashion that is going to make a little better, happier, more modern world for us, I say. And there are so many things that are of this world, in this world, and we know that they have a dim approach, a dim light to us. So I say that there's all this stuff we know about what it shall come to when we get a little busier to do life this way. I say, come along, let God do his powerful work in us and through us. I say there's a lot of prayer in this world, a lot of good prayer that has to be said to us, and oh, how it all makes a better world. Like USA for Africa, when they sang, "We are the world, we are the children, we are the ones who make the brighter day, so let's start living." I say that it was all this stuff where, you know, all these different composers and artists and singers took part in that. It was a big celebration that was all together. There's things I recall about it from when I was in the first grade. We did a certain play for Mother's Day in which we had all that song, all those singers, the whole performance where we had the recording of that playing in the background. And oh, little world, we conquered as far as what we all know, and always so much to say in life to bind our hearts with good joys and praises. I say that this is just kind of one little way, a little work shines through us. Oh, I say good joys and good profits. And for all things, I tell y'all that there's kind of good little ways we work. I say I appreciate you all coming on very much. We'll have more to say as we move along. Got little pieces cut off of the back of Joseph's head. We're going to kind of move along, take another step soon. Thank you all for coming on. Thank you for watching. And I wish you all the best and keep in touch always. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I hope to see you in the next video. Stay tuned.